Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do our 8th and final set of alternative cards for the June 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Full of Charm. And here are the 9 cards that you could have made if you had done them as intended. And as you know, around here, we don't do as intended, we do alternatives. So we're going to get started. Our first one's going to be relatively easy because we're going to use one of the card bases, half of one of the card bases that pretty much does all the work for us. So we've got this. I'm going to start with a card base of Timid Tiger. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give it a nice burnish just to make sure it lays flat. And an inside piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it on the outside of our card there. And then we're going to kind of decorate this up just a bit to give this some more pizzazz. Because basically this is pretty enough that it does all the work for us. So let's go ahead and get this down. I did trim this to 5 by 4 1/4. So that we still got a little bit of a border on the front here. So we're going to do that, just like that. Now, I've got Timid Tiger ink that we're going to stamp with here in a minute. And I've got this sentiment that came from the Wanted to Say dies. And so I cut this word celebrate out of these dies. I did the shadow in white and the word celebrate in, let's see, what is that? Lost Lagoon. I was drawing a blank. Okay, so I went ahead and, glued this together because it's no fun watching me try to get that tiny little stuff onto this. So we are going to pop this up. And then I've got a little bow here that I tied out of our gold thread here that is just everywhere. And I made it a double bow, so it's 2 strands, got 2 strands in it. So we're just going to put that on here after we pop this up. But before we put this on, I want to take our Wink of Stella and kind of give our flowers some more sparkle. So I'm just going to take this and rub it over all of the flowers here so that they have some sparkle to them, because I think that'll really give the front of this card some wow. So, just because you've got a piece that, basically does the work for you doesn't mean you can't dress it up even more. So that's what we're doing here. We're just giving that, and I don't know if I can catch that in the light so you can see the sparkle that the Wink of Stella gives, but it is very pretty. So we're going to do this flower over here as well. So we're just going to do kind of like that. And let's see. I'm wondering, I think I'm going to do the rest of them too, because, why not? You can't have too much sparkle. So let me just run over these real quickly. And then we'll go ahead and get our sentiment popped up. And all we'll need to do then is put some bling on the outside, and we can call this one done. Okay, so there's our flowers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this on some dimensionals. Let me see if I can find, I need mini dimensionals if I can, here we go, here's some, put my hands on them. Okay, so we're just going to use mini dimensionals on the back of this, and we'll just get those across here, and then we'll get it put down. let's see. We're going to do just like that. We'll take the backs off of these. And we will get this onto the front. Let's see. I think I got all the backs off. Okay. So, I'm thinking in the middle, maybe like right there. And then we'll take our little gold bow here. And I'm going to just try to straighten out the loops just a tad bit there. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a mini glue dot, and I'll put the bow right on here, and we'll just take that glue dot and all off of there. And I'm thinking something like right there above our sentiment. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp the inside. We've got Celebrate on the outside. We're going to use our Timid Tiger ink. On the inside, I'm going to use these 2 stamps that came in the kit that say, Happy birthday to a wonderful friend. So we'll put this on the inside. I'm just going to make sure we get ink on here. And we will line this up. And maybe, as I get ink all over my finger. Okay, try that again. Okay, so we're going to go down. Hopefully we're straight. And doesn't look too bad. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this on the inside of our card. And then we'll put some bling on, and this one will be done. So it doesn't take long at all when you start with the front that's doing all the work. Okay, so we've got like that. Alright, for the bling for this one, I'm going to use these Sunny Day iridescent dots. I'm going to use this this orangey color here. Now this wasn't Timid Tiger, but it sure looks a lot like Timid Tiger, so I think it'll be just fine. So we'll get 2 or 3 of these on here. So we've got a couple there and one more. Let's put one up here. Okay, so there's that card. Pretty simple, very quick. Now, let me get this out of the way and we will move on to our second one. Our second one's going to be a little bit more involved, and it's going to look familiar because we're going to do another bookbinding card like we did last night, except we're going to do a couple of little twists for this one. So, let me get all of our pieces out of the way here. So, I've got Petal Pink card base that is 4 by 11, scored at 5.5. And I wish I could remember where the second score line is. 6 3/4. Okay, so we've got a piece here. This came from that DSP that we looked at last night, the Floral Charm. And I'll show you again real quickly all the pretty patterns that are in this paper. This is still available. And it's just beautiful. So, might be something you might want to think about picking up. It goes so many different summery projects you can use this one for. And let's see, one more. Yep, there we go. So, we're going to use this one. We're going to put this on this side. And I got, so this piece is 4 by 4, and then I've got another little strip that goes on this side that is 1 by 4. Now, before we glue our part together there, I'm going to go ahead and put this piece down. So we'll get some seal on this. We'll go ahead and center this one up you know, left to right and top to bottom. Best that I can. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm also going to take a piece of this Petal Pink braided trim, and I cut a piece here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put this down the center of our little piece here, and we're going to enclose then the ends on the inside before we glue this down. So what I'm going to do is, and I know this piece is way too long, we will trim that off here in a minute. So I'm going to take some tear and tape, and I'm going to take a little piece of this, and I'm going to put a piece right here in the middle and burnish that pretty good. You need to, you know, give it a good rub so that the sticky part sticks, and then we can peel the backing off. But we want the sticky part to stay down. So there we go. So there's that one, and we'll get this piece off. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right there. Now I'm going to flip it over just so we can make sure that we're getting this centered the best that we can. And I can already tell we need to move it over just a tad bit. We're not quite in the center, so let's go this way. Okay, now we should be good. Okay, so we're going to move that up the center. I'm going to take it, push it down on this side, and then I'm going to trim this big end off here, because we don't want all this bulk in our little binding here. Okay, now just to make sure that that stays down, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape on the top of it as well. Now I don't need to peel the sticky off of this, because we're not going to need this to make it stick together. It's strictly just to, okay, that one just came apart in my hand. Hang on a second. Oh my goodness. We just need it to hold that down so it doesn't go anywhere. So let me get another piece here, because that one stuck to me. Okay, so just like that. Okay, now we can glue this fold together. So I'm going to take some Tombow glue, and I'm just going to put, you know, through the rest of this, and then we'll go ahead and put our binding part together. And I'm just going to hold it for just a second. So our card's still going to open here at this fold. Uh-oh. Okay, so we need to trim off this little piece of tear and tape here. It's fine. We can get right rid of that. Okay, perfect. Gone. Okay, so there's that. Now, we will put this piece down on the front. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and get seal on this. I'm going to put this, I'm trying to match our edges up, top and bottom, with the piece that we already have put down, so that it looks like it, you know, goes straight across and straight across at the bottom. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Alright, now I've got the last of our diamond shapes that came in the kit, and we are going to stamp on that before we put that down. I'm going to pop that up. I also cut some of these leafy things out of the Charming Day die set. So I used this die right here, and I cut 2 of these, and then I've cut them in half, kind of like we did yesterday with the green ones. I've cut these blue ones down too. And then I've got a piece for our inside of white that's 4x4. Let me cut this off too. Okay, so this 4x4 white piece, so we're going to stamp on this. So on the outside, I want to put, what do I to put? I want to put Let's Celebrate You. And then on the inside, we're going to put Happy Birthday. So let me see what I did with, here it is. So we're going to use Night of Navy ink. And we'll go ahead and get our stamping done. So on the inside, we're going to put Happy Birthday. This came from the Charming Day set. So I'm just going to ink their favorite red rubber stamp up here. And we'll just go straight down, trying not to rock the block. Perfect, okay. Now, on our outside piece, we're going to put, this was in the Paper Pumpkin Kit, the Let's Celebrate You. And I'm going to put that right here in the middle of our diamond. Okay, perfect. Okay, put the ink away. Now, at the bottom here, I also have, here, this piece. This came from the DSP when I trimmed it down. It's also, let's see, what is this? I think it's a 1/2 inch by 4. I want to put that right down there at the bottom to kind of decorate the inside of our card a little bit. So I'm just put a little bit of seal on that. Let's see, which way do our leaves go? Okay, so this way, I was right the first time. So we'll put this right down there. Okay, and then we'll put this on the inside. And then we will get our cluster on the front of it. So we will get this down here. Okay, I'm just gonna take your pick tool and just kind of see if I can get rid of our little piece of tear and tape there that wants to stick out. There we go. Okay. And this one, we can also do the same thing. I tuck that right in there. Perfect. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get our diamond up on some dimensionals. Now, let's see. I'm going to use some more of these edge pieces that we're trying to get rid of for this. Give this a couple of chops here. And we'll get this down. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pop this up. And then we'll tuck our little blue leaves in. Okay, so this is going to go in the middle, just like that. And then I'm going to take these and we will, I'm not really sure what this piece of, oh, there it is, gone. Okay, what do I want to use? I think I want to use the fine tip glue, just because these are, you know, kind of delicate. And we'll just put a little dot in all the bigger leaves. And I'm just going to kind of tuck these in here. So we'll put one like right there. And we'll put another one down here. And then we'll do these. I'm trying to find a place to tuck it. There we go. Without hitting our dimensional that we put under there. Let's see. I think we need to tuck this one in just a little bit more. Let's try again. There we go. And then this one, I guess it's this side. And we'll put this one down here in this corner. So I need some more glue on these up here. These are not sticking, so let's just put another couple of dots on there. There we go. And then another dot on this one. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's that. Now, the only thing we have left is some bling. So I'm going to use some more of these antique pearls. I just love these because they go with everything, it seems like. Okay, so we'll get one, put one there, and we'll do a little one here, and one more little one down here. And there we go. Here are our 2 cards that we did today. So this is the last of the June kit. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite. I kind of think I like this one. I'm just partial to pink and blue, I think. But so, like I said, this is the end of our June kit, so we're going to be starting our July kit here next week. I'm going to take the weekend to, design away on that July kit so that we can start next week with our strawberries. There are lots of strawberries. The kit is just so cute. So, I guess that's all I have for tonight. So, I will see you all soon. Have a crafty evening. Bye.